and welcome to my channel. My name is Anya and Happy New Year, even though I'm filming this on like December 19th. This year I am doing a Project 50 pan, which you probably read by the title. I'm a little nervous, but I'm very excited. Last year, or this year, 2018, was a very slow makeup year for me, I felt like. But I still managed to use up 40 different beauty products, so I don't think 50 is unmanageable. And I feel like I've been reasonably smart with some of my choices. Some I probably won't finish, let's be honest. Or they're going to take me the entire year. But I am up for the challenge. And I'm also doing a low buy this year. I have not yet entirely thought about what I'm going to do, but I think I want to limit the amount of money I spend every single month to a set amount. And maybe, if possible, try and alternate a low buy month and a no buy month where I don't buy anything unless I run out of absolutely everything in that category. Because I don't think I can do a no buy year. That would be setting myself up for failure right away. But I want to limit the amount of makeup products that I purchase because I do have a lot. At current date, I have over 700 items in my collection, and it is a lot, and it's more than I can ever use up before it goes bad. So I want to limit the amount that I purchase, but I also want to try and use up the stuff that I have at least as much of as I can. So the products I have chosen next to me are a combination of makeup, skincare, hair care, body, nails, perfume, because I'm doing all of beauty, not just makeup, because I think if I just do makeup it's going to be harder, but I also have a little bit of overflow in other categories that I want to try and just limit down to favourites. I want to talk more about my sort of low buy in a separate video. It's going to be up in the corner, one of the two, when it's up. But this video is going to be talking about all the products I want to use up in 2019. I don't really have any set rules for this project pan. I'm starting with 50 and the goal is to use up 50 by the end of the year. Whether these are going to be the 50 shown here or others, I don't know. I am gonna rotate in products when I use something up, but not every single time. I'm not going to keep it to being 50 constantly, because then it would just be a 50 rolling project pan that would go on for years. But I think I'm going to have at least a product in each category, so at least one primer, a foundation, a concealer, a powder, and so on. Because I'm starting this with what, 7 different eyeshadows, and only one foundation, one concealer, and so on. Because I think if I want to use up over my entire collection, I'm going to have to pick from each category, and I'm going to have to keep products from each category. There are certain categories that I want to use more products from, and from those you're going to see more of them rotating in. And there are some that I don't necessarily need to use a lot of products on because I don't have that many. So I am going to permit myself to rotate in products once I have used them up. I'm also going to try and do monthly check-ins, which is why this is filmed in the middle of December, not the end of December. I was planning on filming this, come here, I have a puppy here. I was planning on filming this last week, but I fell ill, holiday stress and just health stuff. And you don't have to eat my makeup. Please don't eat my makeup. So I'm starting this a few days later than I wanted to, and I'm going to start now. I'm going to start today, even though it's 11 o'clock at night, on the 19th of December, because I'm planning on filming these updates mid-month to get them out by the end of the month. Meaning this project is going to start mid-December and also end mid-ish December in a year. So I'm going to try and do monthly checkups where I will discuss products I've used up, if I liked them, if I didn't, and all that stuff. Also talk about products I'm rotating in, if I'm rotating in any, and maybe update the low buy. Not sure if I want to make that a separate series or not yet. Not yet entirely figured out what I'm going to do with my channel, but we'll see. But I am going to show you the products. But before I do, I want to just quickly shout this one out. This is the Marc Jacobs Le Marc Liquid Lip Crayon in Ready to Go, colour 410, and it's what I'm wearing on my lips, and it's beautiful. I bought this, which was a set of 3. It was a trio. Relatively inexpensive for Marc Jacobs, I feel like. And it's their crayons, and this is beautiful. It didn't I don't know, it feels very comfortable. I've just been out eating a Christmas dinner with family, and some of it wore off, always happens, but I reapplied it and it just looks so smooth, and it's really nice. So if you want to try them, pick up the set if it's still available, or try and get your hands on these if you like a creamy lip crayon that's easy to apply and that sort of dries matte without being drying. Enough about that, let's talk about my 50 items because there is a lot. I'm going to start with the perfume since it's the only perfume on the list, and this is a carryover from last year. This is the Illume Thai Lily Rollerball, and you can see the white mark, that's how much I have left. On screen, if there is difficulty showing progress, I will have close-ups of each product so that you can see how much I have left of them, but with this one I have that much left, and I hate the rollerball on this. I am very sensitive to scents. This scent doesn't bother me, but the applicator does, because I don't spray or wear perfume necessarily on my skin because my skin is really sensitive. I like to spray perfume on my clothes, and I can't do that with this, which is why it's taking me, it literally took me I think 6 months to do that. But then again, I wasn't using it on every opportunity, like now, because that's the way I have to apply it. I have to put it on my wrist and then transfer it to clothing, and it's just not one I reach for, so I want to use that up. I have a few skincare items here. One is from number 7, it's the Beautiful Skin Micellar Cleansing Water for Normal to Dry Skin. This was in 2017's advent calendar, and I haven't opened it, so this bottle is full and I want to try and use it up. It's 30 milliliters, so this is going to go very quickly I think, but it's been in my collection for a year and I haven't touched it, so I need to use this up this year or else it's not going to be used. More skincare here. This is from the Body Shop. This is their tea tree oil, and it's a 20 milliliter bottle, and mine is nearly full. You can see the white mark there. You use very little of this, or at least I do when I put it on, and recently I've been loving the Sunday Riley UFO oil, which I use in place of this, so this has kind of been pushed to the side, but I still want to try and use what I can of this before it goes bad. And I have checked all of these products, they have not gone bad yet as of the date I'm filming this, and I want to try and use this up, and I definitely think I can because my skin loves tea tree oil and this works really great on my breakouts. This is another product that have been dethroned if you want. This is the Pixi Glow Tonic 5% glycolic acid exfoliating toner. I love this and my skin loves glycolic acid. But I have found the Nip and Fab Glycolic Fix pads that are like pre-moistened pads easier to use. So this has kind of been pushed aside, but this is still an amazing product if you prefer liquid to already pre-moistened pads. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog. And I have used a lot of this. I only have that much left, and I do think this is going to be gone within maybe a month or two, depending on how much use I get out of it. Maybe longer if I'm having bad hand days and just prefer something simpler. But I love this product. This is a face oil. This is from Korres. It's the Wild Rose Advanced Brightening and Nourishing Face Oil. And this is a 30ml bottle. And I think I've used about half. And I love this. My skin loves this. This is really moisturising without being super sticky. The smell is very heavy on rose, which is understandable because I think there is rose petals in here. If you don't like that smell, you're not going to like this product. But this is a very short shelf life of 6 months. It has been more than 6 months since I opened this, but it's still good, and because it's so short of a shelf life, I do want to try and get use out of this as quickly as possible. Then I have 2 masks that I'm sort of starting with, and more will definitely be added in. Both are from Korres, and these are just minis. I have the eye mask Cucumber. The Cucumber eye mask. You can see I have flattened this out, so I have marked it on the back there with some nail polish. But I have that left, and you don't use a lot of this. This is an anti-fatigue one. Again, very short shelf life of just 6 months. Have been more than that, but it is still good. And this expires in 2020, so I want to use it before that. This is the Masque Damask Rose Overnight Anti-Fatigue Mask. These came in a set of 4. The other 2 will probably be rotated in at some point. This I've not opened. I opened this to sort of test to see if it was good, and it is, but it still had the seal on it, so I'm just assuming it would be good anyway. So I don't actually know what I feel like about this one, but it is full, completely full. Marked it there, so you know I have the entire tube. I've had some good experiences with Korres skincare, mainly this and the rose oil and some of the body care products as well, so I do hope this is gonna work. I want to use it up just in case it doesn't, or even if it does. The rest are makeup, and I have them on a little tray next to me, and I'm not gonna go in any particular order because I don't think I could, to be honest. I'm gonna start with this. This is the NYX Angel Veil Primer, and I have used a lot of this. This is a marking from last year's, or this year's, Project Pan 2018, where I started up here and ended the year down here. I have marked it on the front with a nail varnish you can't see, but it's marked here. I mean, you can go by the blue line there, I have that much left. You don't need a lot. I have pretty much used half the tube and a bit more, but you don't need a lot of this. It's very thick and a little bit drying on my skin. So I feel very sort of so-so about this. Some days it looks amazing, some days it looks really dry. So I don't really know. Maybe it's going off or something because I have had it for a while. But I do want to try and use it up. Another primer that I also sometimes use as setting spray is the Smashbox Primer Water. This is just the normal one. You can see the mark there. I have nearly the entire bottle. The reason I'm using this is because this is actually one of the oldest products in my collection, even though it's not that old. I think I actually bought it in 2018 or late 2017. But I have another bottle of this that I purchased in the summer of 2018. In the green scent, which was the limited edition scent, and I love this product a lot. Even though I haven't used a lot of it, I don't use a lot of it when I use it, so I think this is going to take me a while, but I don't need two at the same time, so I'm choosing this one to go first. And then I have another carryover from last year. This is the Jan Thomas Studio Cosmetics Makeup Fixing Spray. This is difficult to look into, but you can see the mark. I have two that are on the same page. It was just difficult when I put that one first and realised I probably should have put that one. But you can see I have a little less than half the bottle left. And I love this. I like it a lot. It is not a mattifying setting spray. And I don't really know how much it prolongs my makeup, but it does make my makeup look really nice. Takes away any sort of powdery finish. And I do really like the finish that this gives. But it is probably the oldest in my collection when it comes to setting sprays, so I do want to use it up before it goes bad. My starting foundation of choice is Lancome Teint Idol Ultra Wear. I probably butchered that name, I always do. I have the shade 005, and you can probably see the mark there. I thought I had less than this because I felt like I used this quite a lot when I got this years ago. This is 2 years old, I think, from 2016 maybe. I think December 2016. So it's a bit old. It is still good. I recently tested it. My skin hasn't reacted or anything. I never really liked the scent of this because Lancome foundations are heavily scented, so if you're sensitive to that, don't try that. But this is one of the oldest ones in my collection and I don't really use it a lot. It is a little bit too dark for my skin, even though this is the lightest shade you can get in Norway. And it looks like it would be okay, but it is a little bit dark and I, as I said, prefer other foundations, so I want to use that up. This is the Isadora Colour Blender in Light, which is just a white colour, and I have the mark down here. Can't actually see it because it's almost white on white, but I have very little left. I thought I had more of this left. This is one where I was kind of surprised at how little was left, but I also half expected it because I did use this a lot, and this was the only white mixer that I had for nearly the entire year of 2018 and also parts of 2017. So I want to use this up because it is the older of the two I currently have. It is also the product of the two with the least amount of product, and I don't want to just put this aside in a drawer where it will go bad, the little that is left. I just want to try and use it up, and I mean it works kind of well when this is too dark. I have two colour correctors. I have one from Bobbi Brown. It's the Corrector in Extra Light Bisque, which is just a light pink peach colour, and you can maybe see the Rapid Major Pan on this, and this is from the summer of 2015. So this is getting very old in my collection. Still nice, still creamy, doesn't smell bad, doesn't give my skin any reactions, but it is that old, and I want to use this up preferably before the summer, because the reason I know how old this is because this was purchased in the United States and I was there the summer of 2015. The other one is from Urban Decay. It's the Naked Skin Colour Correcting Fluid in green, and I have a little mark right here. I think the actual product is lower down, but I've let this just stand to settle, and I can see a little bit further down, but because there is still some product up here, I've just marked it sort of where I think it is, and that is there. And I don't use green colour corrector every single time I wear makeup, but I do have very red skin. My cheeks and chin, and sometimes my nose, are very red and very visibly red. I like to try and use this if I'm going more sort of fuller coverage. I'm not that big fan when I'm doing lighter coverage, because then I kind of like my redness to peek through, so I just have to skip blush and it just looks natural. But I do have a lot of redness, and I feel like it's sometimes so much that even full coverage products can't cover it completely. But I still haven't mastered the technique with the green colour corrector. I still feel like I look a little green sometimes. That could just be because I'm putting too much on, which I probably am. But because I have another one, I've actually got 3. This is the oldest one, so I want to try and use that up. For concealer, I am using, or I'm starting with, the Rimmel London Lasting Finish 25 Hour Breathable Concealer in 001 Light Ivory. This says lightweight medium coverage. No. No, I don't like this concealer. It's not necessarily lightweight. It's one of the thicker consistency ones that I have, and it is light coverage at best. I can get it to highlight coverage or low medium coverage, but this just does not work on my skin. It looks very heavy, doesn't cover enough, so I just kind of want to use it up. The colour isn't perfect on my skin either. It is very yellow leaning and a tad bit too dark, and that was actually the lightest shade that they had. I have a Rimmel Stay Matte powder in transparent here. The cap is broken, which is why this is in here, and I also have 2 of these, so I just chose the one with the broken cap because this can't go with me anywhere. This actually broke in my bag coming home from Bergen. It was the chosen one, really. I do like that powder a lot, but Rimmel isn't cruelty free, sadly. And then I have this. This is also a repeat from last year, the Kicks Translucent Loose Powder, and it looks amazing under the eyes. Super smooth, just flawless. But if I try and put this on my face, it just sucks the life out of my skin. And I have that much left. It is a little bit. Do you know how you can see on the bottom there, there's a line going down there? That's how much I have left. And it's going to take me a while. It's going to take me a long while because I can only use a little bit of this at a time underneath my eyes. This is a product that I don't think I have touched. And if I have used it, you can count on one hand, I think. And this is the Maybelline Master Strobing Stick in 100 Light Iridescence, which is just a light pink. It is a beautiful highlighter, but I don't wear cream highlights. I traded some points for this at Vita 2 years ago, maybe longer, and never really used it. And I mean, I know why. It's because I don't like cream highlighters. I don't like cream cheek products at all, pretty much. But I do want to try and use some of it. I don't think I'll be able to use this up before it potentially dries out, but I do want to try and see how much I can use before it dries out on me. Fingers crossed it's going to be as the whole thing, and I have that much left. I'm not going to be able to use up this whole thing. It's going to be a fun challenge though. And then I have the product that is going to take me at least the whole year, if not longer. This is the Milani Baked Blush in Bella Rosa. What was I thinking when I purchased this? I mean, I know what I was thinking. Ooh, that's a pretty colour. But it is not very wearable on my very fair skin. It is really bright. This, I think, would look beautiful on dark and deeper skin tones. I can wear it, but I have to be very careful. And I get a very sort of rosy flush to my skin that very quickly borders on clown-like. I do want to try and use it up because this is pretty much a coloured dupe exactly to Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in natural beauty. It's just that this is more pigmented than that. So if you try that and you felt that it wasn't as pigmented as you liked it, this is your friend. I prefer the Tarte one because it is less pigmented, because it means it's easier to apply to my super pale skin without making me look like a clown. So this is going to be a full year's worth, and I think to be able to use this up, I have to use it as an eyeshadow, and that is the Dome. It is barely used. This is from Isadora. This is their face sculptor in Warm Peach. As you can see, I've hit pan on 2 products already from 2017, I think. And this hasn't been touched in 2018, but it has a beautiful bronzer that, as you can see, is on the warmer side of things. A beautiful light pearly pink highlighter and a very pretty pink bordering on peachy pink blush. I like this trio a lot, I really do, but I do want to try and use up every single shade. I think the highlighter is going to be super easy just because it is beautiful. I swatched that at such an awkward place. Let me do this instead. The highlighter on my wrist is beautiful. The blush is also quite nice and very natural. And the bronzer is the more pigmented of the 3 and quite warm. So I have to be very careful with the bronzer, but I can go ham with the highlighter. I love it a lot. It's what I'm wearing along with the blush. I didn't like this a lot, but I want to try and use it up because I have already hit pan on 2 of 3 products. I have an eyeshadow palette here from Wet n Wild. This is the Walking on Eggshells trio from last year's Project Pan, and I've hit pan on these 2 shades. I have a dent that I'm not sure you can see on the middle shade, maybe you'll be able to see on the close-up, and my goal is to finish all 3 pans, and I think the bottom pan is going to be the first one to go just because of how rapid that pan expanded, then the white one, and then this one is, and this is what I'm wearing on my eyes, and I like the colour, but I think if I want to hit pan on this and use it up, I'm going to have to wear it as a one shadow look. And the formula on the Wet n Wild trios are amazing. I know they have reformulated and I haven't tried them and I really want to, but that's for next year's low by me to decide. This is an Hourglass palette and this is the ambient lighting palette. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see. This pan is completely empty and this was the one that contained dim light. Then I have incandescent light, which is quite a big pan, both in the centre and over this way. And radiant light is only down here. This entire area is just pan. The only colour that I can wear as a highlight is the middle one. This looks very orange. And if you saw my Project Pan 2018 finale, this is what I was wearing and it looked very, very warm and orange on my skin because I'm just that pale. It is very warm toned, so I think if you have a warmer undertone, that could be a colour that would work for you, but I don't think it would work if you are super pale like I am. But I made great progress on this in 2017 and I want to 2018, sorry, and I want to finish this in 2019. Let's just get this other face palette out of the way and then we can talk about eye stuff. This is the e.l.f. Aqua Infused, I think, bronzer and blush in sort of cream formula in bronzed pink beige, and these are kind of like patty. They're kind of soft and squishy. The colours are really nice. The blush is very bright and the bronzer is very warm, but with a sponge and a light hand these look beautiful on. But they are getting old. They are cream products, so they're not going to last as long in my collection as a powder one. I said it about the Maybelline highlighter as well. I don't like cream face products, so I want to try and use as many of them from my collection as possible. And this is one of the oldest, so I'm going to start with that. Now we are on to lips and eyes. I'm going to do the lip products first. And I'm going to start with Kat Von D. I have decluttered some of her products that you will see in an upcoming declutter. After her anti-vaccination bullshit, let's be honest, I don't want to purchase from her brand anymore. And I don't like any more of the products that I have. I actually literally just I don't want to touch them. I don't want to use them, which is why I decluttered a lot of them. I'm keeping some. And some I'm panning. One of those things that I have had from her in my collection for nearly a year now and barely used was the Everlasting Lip Liner Collector's Edition that came in what looked like a giant envelope. So I'm starting with 3, and I'm starting with the shade X, which is a red. I'm starting with D minor, which is sort of like your lips, but better colour for my lips. So it's a neutral beige. And I'm starting with Kevi, which is a very light peachy beige. These are untouched. They have not been put on my lips. And I kind of just want them gone, but I don't want to just throw away over $100 US worth of makeup. So I want to try and use them up. This is a mini from Kat Von D. This is the Bow and Arrow liquid lipstick. Love the colour. Love the formula. Loved with a D. And really wanted to purchase more colours. Then that happened and I don't want it anymore. And I don't even want to keep this, but I'm going to try and use it up because I do like it. This is one of those products that I've tried to stand up to try and mark, but I can't. I honestly can't. So I can see through it in some areas. You can see there through, right there. But I honestly don't know how much is left in this. I've had this for a year and a half now. I think I purchased this in Copenhagen 2017. So it is getting on the older side, but I just want to try and use up as much of this as I can. My starting lip gloss of choice is from Tanya Burr Cosmetics in Ice Queen from her advent calendar last year. I have used a lot of this because this is one I used as an eye gloss for a look I did in March. I really enjoyed a glossy lid, and that's something I want to experiment more with in 2019. But I don't wear lip gloss and I already have a shimmery, like a clay gloss with a lot of golden sparkle to it. So I'm just picking this because this has the least in it to start. This is one of the oldest products in my collection. This is the Clinique Chubby Stick and Turns in Hefty Hibiscus, which is this beautiful orange colour. It's beautiful, but I don't use this. And this is old. This is years old. And I need to use this up this year or it needs to go in the bin. So I'm going to try to finish this. And I do love a good orange lip, but I do prefer liquid lipsticks, and especially the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream formula over pretty much anything else in the world. And chubby sticks have become something that I used to love a lot that I no longer really reach for, so I want to try and just use that up. I have a tinted lip balm here from Burt's Bees. This is their tinted lip balm in Sweet Violet. It's a purpley colour. I hated this when I first got it because it was really patchy and dry. It's gotten better with age, which is kind of odd. This is also from 2015 from that US trip. It's a lot smoother now after it pretty much sat in my collection for about a year and a half. It still smells like crayons, and I don't like that. The scent is what is just driving me off completely with this product, because the product itself isn't bad. If you like a tinted lip balm, these are okay. I don't like tinted lip balms, I just want to try and use that up. Then I have another carryover from 2018. This is a MAC lipstick in Capricious. This is a luster. You can see I don't have a lot left there. It's a beautiful colour. It's very similar to the Burt's Bees one. It's just a little bit more purple, I think. I like the luster finishes from MAC, but I don't really like the lipsticks. This is very sheer and very sort of natural looking on my lips because my lips are very pigmented. This just gives them more of a cool undertone rather than my natural rosy undertone. So I want to just try and use that because I don't really see myself keeping it if I don't. Then I have another old product. I have a lot of old products this year. This is from L'Oreal. It's the collection exclusive Reds collection, and this is in Blake's Pure Red, which is Blake Lively's colour. And the colour is stunning. It's a blue based red and it's just beautiful. It's a matte finish that is comfortable on the lips, but the scent of this is just so bad. It's so bad. I don't really know what it smells of, but it just smells like L'Oreal lipsticks. If you want to smell it, go smell one. It does not smell good. And that is what is putting me off this product so badly. But it is really old, and as I said, I found other reds that I prefer. This is now one of them. The Fenty Stunner Lip Paint is one of them. NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. I have like 6 different red shades that I love. So this needs to go. And I think this is going to be a bit of a challenge because of that scent. But also because I have nearly the entire tube left to go. I have a few brow products. One is the Wonder Brow Gel colour, or brow colour. I'm not sure what this is called in blonde, which is just the wrong shade for me right now. And this is amazing if you need your eyebrows to stay put through anything. It has a bit of a learning curve because it is pretty much a liquid brow colour. Like, it's liquid. Don't apply it with this brush though. Find yourself a really nice angle brush that is stiff, and how wide you want it, it just depends on you. The colour is pretty nice if you are a blonde, but not necessarily a very cool toned blonde, although it could probably work for that as well. It's just the wrong colour for me, and I have just come to prefer pencils or powders over this. But I have a lot left of this, and I do want to try and use as much of this as possible. I then have two brow pencils, both are from Makeup Mecca. I have the Brows on Fleek, which is Anastasia Brow Wiz type product, really thin, in the shade Ash, and I have the Brow Wow in the shade Light Brown, which is more of that triangular teardrop shape. These are both in the wrong shade for me. Makeup Mecca's brow products don't really have a shade for redheads, unfortunately, and these are very cool toned. I can make the blonde shade work because it has more warmth to it, but these are very cool toned. If you have cool toned eyebrows or hair, live in Norway, want to try these out because these are quite inexpensive, and you can usually get them on sale very often. Give them a go because they are really good products. It's just they don't have a shade that fits my eyebrows. Then I have this, which I tried sometime last year. I think I've only used this once or twice, and I instantly did not like this. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Clear Mascara. It's a clear mascara. I used it for my brows. It has zero hold, and it's just no. This is just essentially just going to be a product I'm going to just brush through my brows 6 times a day to get them to stay. So this might be like a conditioning product that I put on first to brush the brow hairs into place. Then I fill the brow in, and then I go in with something like the NYX Control Freak, which I prefer, or the Makeup Mecca Maximum Brows, I think it's called. I like that one too, to get them to stay there, because it has no hold. 2 mascaras. I am choosing my Max Factor 2000 Calorie Water Volume in Rich Black and Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes. I am gonna try and be good about not keeping a mascara open for more than a year this year. It's gonna be tough because these are already coming up to a year soon, but I have not yet found a product that is cruelty free that replaces this, which is unfortunate because this is the only drugstore mascara that I can get my hands on that makes my lashes look like this. Every other mascara just drops the curl instantly, and my lashes point straight ahead and a little bit down, so I look like I don't have eyelashes. So I kind of need the hold of this, and I have just started layering mascaras to get used out of my other ones, and this is one that is one of the oldest, one of the most expensive ones I have, and one that I'm fairly certain is drying out before I get to use most of it. So I want to pair this together, test this more on its own, see if I can maybe get that to work, because it is very expensive, but this looks great on the lashes. The brush is a bit bigger than what I like. You can see there, especially compared to my Max Factor one. You can see the Max Factor is just skinnier, and I prefer that because my eyes are not very big, and my lashes, when they point, although they point down, when I curl them, I end up with mascara all over my lids. And I don't like large brushes, and this is on the edge of being too big, but still manageable. So these are the ones I want to try and use up. I have one eye primer here. This is the one with the shortest shelf life that's open in my collection. It's Urban Decay Primer Potion in the original one. I have the mark up here. I have pretty much the entire thing to use up. And I like this, so that's not going to be difficult. Then I have a cream shadow. This is the Rimmel Scandaleyes eyeshadow stick in Bluffing, which is a really pretty taupey colour. I need to just use that up. I don't really reach for this. This, along with one of the powder shadows, are going to be good for layering on top of each other. So I'm hoping just to be able to use that up with that. Then I have my Milani Shadow Eyes 12 Hour Wear eyeshadow in Almond Cream. I'm wearing this on my waterline. I love it for the waterline. It's a beige colour that has more of that yellow undertone instead of pink one, and I find that that works best on my eyes. So if you can hear any noise in the background, but this is getting old. It's also from 2015, so I just want to try and use this up. And then I have this. This is the one that is probably never going to be done. I don't wear a lot of black pencil liner, and this is ginormous. It's literally nearly the length of my face, and I have a long face. This is the Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner, the colour icon Kohl in Baby's Got Black, and it's just a black pencil liner. I have more than one in my collection, don't understand why, and this is just the formula that I prefer less because this is a bit drier. I think for me to be able to use this, I'm going to have to do more smoky looks, and I'm going to have to try and use this as a base. which I want to try. So I'm gonna give it a go, but I don't think I'm gonna be done with it. I have one liquid eyeliner here. This is from Made You Look. It's the Night Owl eyeliner in the shade Haunted. I have 3 backups to this because I love this a lot, and I don't think you can get this anymore. It's a beautiful black. And this is still smooth and creamy and really nice, even though it is a little bit old. But I do want to try and use it up, so I'm gonna see how I can fare with that. I have 2 glitter liners here. These are the Metal Moments glitter eyeliners. Makeup Mac is a brand you can only get in Norway, but if they bring these back, pick them up if you are in Norway. They are great. I have Gold Digger, which is the gold one, and Silver City, which is the silver. You can maybe see them glittering down there. And I have marked the gold one there because that is where the liquid is at when it is just setting. I can't see it on the silver, but I have marked it at the same height. I marked it there as well because they have been used pretty much the same amount of time, which is not a lot. And I have a silver and a gold from a different brand. So these were the ones that I think I could use up because I do like adding glitter to my looks. And I already have something that could take their place. I'm going to be sad to see this go. This is from Stila. It's their Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in Bronzed Belt. The reason I'm putting this in here, one, it is the oldest Stila in my collection. I don't have many. It's down there. It is beautiful. I've had these dry out kind of quickly. Mine is now a year old because I bought them before Christmas last year in 2017. This is not a shade that they have anymore. I have one in my collection that I think is similar, that is still in their sort of permanent collection. So I'm going to swatch them together at some point to see. But this is a beautiful bronzy colour with silver glitter in it. So it just looks really nice and kind of taupey on the lip eyes. I love this. It's super pretty. It's the easiest way I find to just glam up a look is just to throw some of this on the lid. And I love this. So I want to see if with regular use how quickly it's going to take me to use these up. Because this is the only full size I have. And I have now I think 7 minis in different shades. I love these and I am tempted to pick up every single colour, but I don't think that would be smart in a full size unless I know how much product I can get out of these before it dries out and goes off. I haven't been able to mark this though, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do about that, but it's been used a handful of times. So I have 4 single eyeshadows that I've chosen. One is from Colourpop. It's their Super Shock shadow in the shade Blaze, which was in the Kathleen Lights collection. It's just the beautifulest, that's not the word, bronzy colour. It is super shimmery and glittery and beautiful. I prefer the shade Kathleen Lights. That one's called Kathleen Lights because it's more coppery, and that's just my tone, but this has more of that brassy tone, more sort of a greenish bronzy gold, and it's just beautiful. So I want to get more use out of that, seeing as these are going to be 2 years in January, and 2 of the colours I have used up or tried to use up and both have dried out. This is surprisingly creamy, and I think that's just because I haven't used it as much as the other 2 that I tried to use up. But I do love the Super Shock formula. It's probably my favourite single shadow formula and the only cream shadow that I really love, aside from the Stila Glitter and Glows. My other 3 are all from L'Oreal. It's these ones. I'm not sure what these are called. Colour Riche Gel Infused Eyeshadows. I have this in 107 Macron Vanilla Macron, I'm not sure. It's the matte shade. I have this in 200 Over the Taupe and 500 Gold Mania. Now these are pretty much untouched, but they look really nice. I don't purchase from L'Oreal anymore. They're not cruelty free, and I haven't purchased from them for pretty much a year. I stopped purchasing L'Oreal before I went cruelty free because it was just a brand at the drugstore that I just never really found anything I liked at. But I picked these up before deciding, so I have Gold, Taupe and Macron. So gold is at the top, taupe in the middle, and the matte one down there is the matte shade. And the matte shade is darker than my skin tone, but I think it's just going to be used to maybe help blend the crease colour if it's a little bit tricky, or if I want to do a matte eye look to sort of brighten my eyes. The taupe is the one that I was talking about with the Rimmel shadow stick. I think these are going to work very well together, and it feels kind of creamy and kind of nice. and the colour is okay. Even though I do prefer these kinds of tones, I can wear a taupe and I like how it looks. And this gold one is the most glittery of them all, and what feels like the thinnest formula, and it is also the one with the funnest sort of imprint. But these are all going to be difficult because these I don't think they have been used at all on my eyes. I think I've swatched them a few times, but I've never put them on my eyes. So these are basically 3 new shadows, and they're not small, so it's gonna take me a while. But I think the colours are gonna be usable, both to integrate the Colourpop shade, but also the Steeler, the cream shadows, as well as this when this is gonna run low and stuff like that. So these are gonna take me the entire year, I think, to use up, and I think I'm gonna have to maybe focus on 1 or 2 at a time, since I can pretty much wear the matte one with any of these ones, the other coloured ones. So I just pretty much just have to choose. And those are my starting 50. Hope it's 50. I did a count before, and all of my 50 products were on here, so I'm hoping I talked about 50 different products. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any tips on how to pan products, please help. I think I'm gonna need them. Encouragements are also welcome, and if you're trying your own project pan, please leave down below so we can help each other, I suppose. Or encourage each other is probably the word I was looking for. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!